Hey YouTube. Basically, I wanted to show how I was playing Yatagarasu. The new card from Clan Collection. It's pretty high, pretty cool. I really do like it. It's nice. I hope it's going to be a good budget option. Himiko will be pretty expensive with the VR reprint and all those problems. So, Yatagarasu, a poor man's alternative. So basically, its ability, when it attacks, Counterblast 1, Soul Blast 3, and basically, depending on the grades of the cards you Soul Blast, you get to activate its ability, right? 5, if you Soul Blast to the sum of 5, you get 10k power on your front row. If you Soul Blast to the power of 7, you get to stand 2 units, and if you Soul Blast to 9, which means you Soul Blast to 3 grade 3s, you get to draw 2 cards, right? And so basically, what I envisioned as the winning condition for this deck is basically Soul Blasting 3 grade 3s consistently over and over again. And so how I've decided to achieve this is by playing, well, a few grade 3s. I'm playing 4 grade 3 heal triggers by well, basically, because it's a free grade 3, right? You don't have to add... It's trigger card, so it's not going to affect how many cards you can add to your main deck. And, besides it being a good grade 3 to soul charge in, it's basically a nice pick for whatever meta options that you're fighting against XL decks that might be, pressuring with a bunch of attacks. You can just activate it, gain 10k. The whole reasons to play a heal guard. If you aren't playing one of these, why not, Don't be dumb. Don't be stupid, okay? Play one. For me, okay? So, yeah, play those. Definitely free grade 3s. You also want to be playing Crew. Crew is great in this deck because of how quickly you can soul charge with it. Its ability, when placed, soul charge 1 for each of your units. So, basically, you'll be, soul charging 4, 5, or 6, depending on how many units you got on your field. And, basically, just a really easy soul charger. You go through the top of your deck pretty quickly. And that's sort of why I established the strategy, because of how quickly you build your deck, go through your deck, that it sort of hurts, because by the 3rd grade 3 turn, right, you're sort of already running low on fuel. You got 2 or 3 cards left in your deck. And so how I've decided to try to fix that problem is through Valencia, Witch of Oranges Valencia, and basically its ability. When this card is put into your soul during your main phase, bind this card, choose 2 cards from your soul, put one of them into the bottom of the deck and one of them into soul. So this card is really good for recycling your grade 3s. So if you have a grade 3 in your drop zone, right, you can just snuff that thing right back into your deck. You can also fill your deck with a bunch of triggers when you do reach that breaking point, when you are at the end of your duel or end of your card fight, where you're starting to get to low triggers and you just start trigger checking, right? And so you ideally want to be checking crits, heals, not draws. That's how you deck out. That's the main reason why I'm playing 1 draw and 3 crit sentinels. You feel free to move that to 4 crit sentinels. There's a lot of good reasons to be playing crit sentinels in this deck. I'll link a video to another person who did a whole outline on all these new Genesis cards. He does it better than me. This is sort of just a rundown version, really quick stuff. But basically, you want to be using this card. So here, let me show you. Let's just say I have a deck right here, right? And I have these 3 grade 3s into my soul, right? And I'll have some stuff here. Or no, won't have anything there. So I swing with my Vanguard, right? Counterblast 1, and then Soul Blast 3, right? Stand 2, attack, you draw 2, you do all the stuff, right? You do all that, right? Next turn, when you draw, you're about to ride and all that. Well, how are you getting more grade 3s, right? And so, basically, since you'll be soul charging a lot, right, there's no way you won't be soul charging one of these, right? So, if you have these in your drop set, in your soul, right, the whole idea is to call a soul blaster out. The soul blaster I'm mainly using is Melissa, and so if I have Melissa out, I could just soul blast 3, right? And then put them, and then call these back into my soul, and then return whatever cards I need into my, deck. And it's really just a nice option that we have cards like Melissa for this deck, because recycling those grade 3s in our souls is just ideal. It's perfect, bro. I don't know what to tell you. And so Soul Blasters, right? As you see, Melissa's ability only works during the main phase. So you want to be you want to be Soul Blasting during the main phase. And so what I've mainly been using is Melissa. Melissa, Soul Blast 3, and then calls over your opponent's rear guards with the top cards of their deck. It's really nice. There's a whole funny deck out strategy with this card, but this card is pretty good in this deck because of how much extra soul you have and the fact that you want to be Soul Blasting some of these Valencias. Pretty good overall. You could also totally be running Color Brush Sorcerer Kazande. Unfortunately, this is a promo. It's getting reprinted in the set that Yatagarasu is coming out in Clan Collection 1, right? Well, the second edition of that. Well, it's getting reprinted in Clan Collection, right? So it's going to be pretty good. But basically, its ability is that you Soul Blast 2, and it gains 10k until the end of turn. So you call this down, you Soul Blast 2, and then, you refill your soul with all those grade 3s. A really nice idea overall. And honestly, that's also why I'm playing the Witch Engine. Witch Engine, you Soul Blast with the Witch Engine, but also with this engine. Basically, the Witch Engine is this card, and what you're doing with this card is you're calling it down, and you're looking at the top 4 cards of your deck. And depending on the name of the card, you get to add it to your hand. So if it's a Sorcerer, Witch, or Hex Orb, or whatever, no, not Hex Orb. If it's a Sorcerer, Witch, or Sorceress, you get to add that card into your hand. It's a pretty nice card overall. You're going to be having a lot of search targets. You're going to have Kazande, Melissa, Witch of Oranges, Valencia, but the main target, the main reason why you're going to be playing a lot of these, 4 of these exactly, is because you want to find your crew as quickly as possible on your first grade 3 turn, right? And so the ideal way to do that is by getting a searcher, just searching, and going through your deck and trying to find this grade 3. And so, other cards I play, because, I'm playing the Witch Engine, I'm going to be playing Falling Star Sorcerer Vine. This is really nice because it's not a Counterblast, which your Vanguard uses, and sometimes her, if you really feel like it. But most of the time, your Counterblast is going to be used by your Vanguard, especially your opponents like damage denying you, which all my friends like to do, so that's pain. But basically, what this card does, you discard a card, and whenever it's placed, you discard a card, and you basically get to retrieve a card from your soul into your hand. And basically, this is the time to search for a Yatagarasu on your grade 2 turn, if you're getting grade stuck or something like that. Or, basically just finding more witches, finding whatever cards you need in your soul. Really nice utility. Could be anything here. I do like these, though. This is a great card to add in. Another addition to this deck, a pretty new one, is Apple Witch Cider. I don't know, whatever his name is. But it's really nice because of the fact that it's high shield, man. It's really high shield in this deck. And so its ability, for those that don't know, at the end of the battle of boosted, you may either Soul Charge 1, return this unit into your hand, or Soul Charge 2. And then for its second ability, when this unit is put onto the guard circle cost, put 1 card into your hand, and this unit gets shield plus 5,000 for every 3 cards in your soul. And so the base idea of this is you call this thing down, you put a grade 3 from your hand into the soul, right? And then you basically, at this point of the duel, whenever it's your opponent's turn, you will probably have a lot of soul because you're only Soul Blasting 3 on your first grade 3 turn. And so you'll be like, hunk, bro. I've gotten to like 50, 60k with this card. It's really nice in this deck because of the fact that if you pay for its ability, you have to like snuff into grade 3, alleviating all that soul charging and all that useless soul charging you're doing throughout the duel. And so overall, a nice card, can totally be searched out by Fiscus, the Witch Engine, and it's just great overall. My final card I'm really playing is Prometheus. This could honestly also be anything, but basically this is for filtering, for checking the top 2 cards of the deck, adding a grade 3 into the soul if it's one of those, or triggers, or whatever you need into the top and into your soul. It's really nice. Honestly, yeah, this is basically my deck profile. Really lazy deck profile. It's gonna get no views. Goodbye. Also, I want to link the video that I saw before making this deck profile that sort of inspired this whole idea that I wanted to share my win condition with the world. I hope this was explainable. This was good. If it's not, I'm sorry. Totally a first video thing though. I love this game. I love the community. Feel free to subscribe. From me, man.